Hey guys, welcome back to the channel. We are out in the outskirts of Big Bear on 202. I know, you've seen this video before, but you haven't seen it on the new 2025 Ténéré 700 to replace my totaled 24. So let's go over some of the differences between the 24s and the 25s. The 25s have better suspension and a new display that's bigger. They have integrated controllers for heated grips if you buy the Yamaha ones, which are obnoxiously expensive. New design on the windscreen, which I'd be honest, I can't tell a difference on. Better pegs, blah, blah, blah. You've probably, if you're watching this, you've probably seen the changes that the Ténérés have come up with, or that Yamaha's come up with for the Ténéré. But as a former 24 owner, and now a 25 owner, I wanted to talk about the differences that I've noticed. The suspension, first and foremost, there's quite a bit of difference there. This does not feel near as clunky as the 24s did. Rebound, compression, much better. In fact, on the way here, I hit a water bar and launched the bike, and it took it like a champ. Tires, absolute dog shit. They're only on there because they need to meet noise specifications, I'm sure, from Department of Transportation. They're gonna get thrown away just like the last set did. The new pegs, they're fantastic. They're really, really good, nice and wide, and I don't see any reason to upgrade them. And yeah, I didn't even bother putting the ones on from the last bike. The brakes, they didn't mention anything about the brakes being changed, but I notice a difference. I can lock the rear brake up on the pavement now, whereas I could not on the 24. In fact, the rear brake was kind of, I don't even know how to describe it. It was like an afterthought or a memory or something. It was so shitty after bleeding it so many times. It was just garbage. Yeah, just garbage. Another feature for the 25s is the self-canceling turn signals. If you press the button gently, it only turns on for 3 seconds. If you hit it harder, it's actually a 2-stage switch. If you hit it harder to the second stage, it'll self-cancel after like 15 seconds or 500 yards or feet. I don't really know. It works. Most people don't tell you unless you read the manual. If you press it and you want to cancel it, just press it again. It's really simple. I don't know why I was confused by that, but laugh at me in the comments. That's fine. The other nice thing that these came out with, or that these updated, is the lower center of gravity on the tank. They moved it forward and they moved it down, and I'll tell you, I can really feel that difference. It doesn't feel near as heavy at slow speeds, and it feels way more manageable and less tippy. Even though I'm like pretty short inseamed, this doesn't get away from me as easily. The throttle is now a ride-by-wire instead of ride-by-cable. I'll be honest, they should have stuck with the cable. It was way more manageable and not as herky-jerky in low-speed RPM, which is just fueling and mapping. I will be sending out this ECU likely to Two Wheel Dyno Works to get them to reflash it, just because it doesn't matter what mode you're in, whether it's Sport or Explorer, right off idle is just very, very jerky. Yamaha didn't mention anything. I know that they shortened the intake tract for the airbox, and I don't know, because I'm not that smart, whether that would affect engine or exhaust noise. But this exhaust is the exact same exhaust that I had on the previous bike, and it is way louder on this bike. I'm not sure why, because I can't see intake tract changes causing that, even just shortening them a little bit. I can't see that, so I'm not sure what the hell the deal is there. Not that I'm complaining, it still sounds really, really good. It's just different. For the 2025s, they went with a single piece rear seat. It's not great. It's kind of a mixed bag. It's comfortable for a short while, and then just like every factory seat, it sucks. It's not the KTM plank of 2x4 like she has on the KTM 500, but it's pretty damn close. The factory seat on the 24s I found to be more comfortable. I don't know if it's the angle or the bend here, or the material maybe is different. The foam padding inside, it's just different. But yeah, it's not comfortable after about 2 hours. Another new thing that I've seen on the new bikes is once you've got your settings with ABS off and traction control and all that stuff, if you cycle the key and you want to turn it back on, you just hold the ABS button and it turns it all back on, which is kind of neat. And I've got you in my helmet now, so I can talk about anything I may have forgotten when we were stopped here. That's a bad day. We've done that trail. Wasn't as hard as it sounded. That's a long drop. These tires are garbage. Oh shit. Oh, that was a hard square edge. Overall, the suspension's much better. It's not on par with KTM's offerings, but it's definitely better than it was. Another nice thing where I was talking about how they lowered the center of gravity by moving the tank, moved it forward and down. That plays another pretty critical role. Something that may not be talked about enough, and that is I can now get further forward on the bike and weight the front end a bit more. Not that it helps because this tire's garbage. So yeah, that's my not quite 1,000 mile review of my new 2025 Yamaha Ténéré 700 in relation to the 2024. Suspension's an upgrade, fueling not an upgrade, new dash and all that stuff. Well, that's if you want to use their Yamaha app and deal with the privacy implications that is the Yamaha app. New seat that's not quite as comfortable. Tires are still dog shit. So yeah, thanks for watching. I'm going to end the video here unless something really special happens, in which case you'll see that after this. And I'll see you on the next one.